Today's really to thank the sponsors. Primarily, I want to thank Dave Provencher and COBHAM for their generous support. I came to Dave in 2007 and had an idea about using his satellite antennas for distance learning for two-way, and so he gave me some startup money for proof of concept, and I did a class in Arizona on the history of film, and we came back and that was considered, well, let's move forward. So up till now, distance learning was basically text-based. The teacher sat in a room, but I thought about how do you teach biology? How do you teach anthropology? How do you teach marine sciences from the field? Well, that requires that you're mobile, live, interactive, and remote. This is our fourth expedition. Our first one was in the deserts of Arizona, Utah. The second one was in the caves of Bermuda. The third one was last year. We went to India. And this year, we're going to be in South Africa for 5.5 weeks doing the history and humanities of South Africa. Incredible pieces. You can see the welding work that's done on it to give it a kind of texture.
Our solution that we call INTX is about having an anywhere-to-anywhere broadcast or webcast. We have a set of video cameras that are roving so they can capture anything happening in the field and bring that back to a mixing board. And it's the mixing board where it all comes together as far as sending that signal out. But we also give the teacher on the teacher's tablet a feed of that as it's going out so that he or she can have an idea of what the students are seeing. We thought that was important.
We've got about an hour and 15.
The biggest challenge for us right now is to have the cameras working wirelessly so we have the biggest possible range. So the teacher and the cameras can go to where the action's happening. I can stay here out of the way and just make sure that everything is clear and send it up to the students. And then once it's around the back, you'll see that the little guy falls into place.
I'm a little bit technology phobic, so I like to move myself into the new age of technology also. This is going to give our students a chance to almost be there in real time.
Interactive expeditions can add something really important, I think, to the kind of stable of educational options we have right now. Right now we rely on face-to-face courses. We rely on what at UCF we call W courses, which are fully online web courses. But this is new. This is immediate, real-time, interactive, at a distance. And that's something that a web course can never match in its current format. So I think this is really a kind of game changer, actually.
Please stay tuned for us next time. Please support our sponsors, and we'll see you on Monday. Thank you all.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. See you.
Bye.
And we're clear. Starting to spray, but I'm going to rain cover my camera. Very careful around this table so nothing falls off.
One more time. Sing again.
Kosisigeli Afrika malupagamisu pondolayo izwa imithandazo yethu kosigelela.
Hi, I'm Professor Phil Peters from the University of Central Florida. You're going to be learning so much about Soweto here in South Africa.
This is a very, very special place, and Rachel is going to lead us through the Mandela House, which is actually now a museum.
There's a coal stove there to show that when the Mandelas moved here, these houses were not electrified.
It's really a beautiful painting, and it depicts his shackles.
This experience has shown me that there are new and even sometimes you might say better ways to help students to understand different cultures. Because I was sitting with people who were thousands of miles away from my students, but the students could directly interact with them.
I was wondering if you could give us a few more facts about Soweto. How big is it? How many people live there?
The population is about 4.5 million people.
Soweto is just a diverse township. We have different cultures, so everyone speaks different languages because we all mixed up.
And one of the really special things here is that each lady who makes these puts her name on it.
This was made by Judah. Yes. Okay. And this one was done by Carl.
I read that in Bulembu in 2005 there was a mass exodus out of the area. Has that had an effect on trying to find new economic ventures and sources, including your workshop?
They are coming out of very difficult circumstances, and just to see how being able to create has changed them and just given them self-worth, it's just worth more and more, and I'll do it anytime again. And I'm living my dream here in a beautiful place called Bulembu.
Step up to the mic and ask us a few questions, because we will be happy to talk about whatever you would like.
Relationships like today?
What are the race relationships like today? Excellent question. It's a hard thing for a country to come out of a system which was fundamentally unequal like apartheid was. I think they've made an admirable effort at bringing things together. That does not mean that by any means it is all peaceful and, you know, sunshine and roses between the various races. This is really about knowledge transfer. You know, you can convert it into a kind of abstract form and put it in a paper or put it in an easily packageable sort of thing, but the fact is, once you start talking about knowledge of place, there are a whole lot of subtleties that just cannot be captured that way, and so that live interaction allows students to get at some of that stuff that would be missed otherwise.
I have to really say it was very exciting. That really is something monumental that has changed in my perspective on teaching. I don't envy the young cameramen who were running around trying to figure out how to film us in various kinds of buildings and that type of thing. So they had a tremendous job, and I think they did a very good job of it.
At first, being in South Africa and working there felt very surreal, but after a few weeks, it felt much more normal, almost like my home was now a different home.
As you kind of get into the role of things and make the transition, I think for me personally there was kind of a special feeling all along, because it felt like we were doing something with more of a purpose than maybe our day-to-day job back home.
It got exhausting. You were always packing and unpacking, and it was challenging to be on the move so much, but interesting at the same time because it kept it always fresh and made the time go really fast too.
So with that, thank you all so much, and see you on Monday. Hi, this is Phil Peters. This is my video diary. All production is difficult. I have been on many, many productions in my life, and all production is difficult because you're basically going into the unknown. So you prepare, and you prepare. Well, the trials and tribulations of a road trip,
and a visit to one of Africa's finest mega stores.
Yeah.
Amia's supermarket, yes. But she did have what we needed.
Luckily, they were just closing. You don't have to keep up with me. You can tell me to slow down. I mean, I thought, you know, just say slow down, you know, because remember I told you 100K, I'd keep it at 100.
Yeah.
You know,
given the recent events, I think we should probably
keep it at 100K. No problem.
Zulu? He's missing.
Oh, okay.
Temba.
Temba?
Of course.
Of course. I'm Rosalind Howard.
Well, you can see we're having some trouble with our truck here.
Okay.
The truck's going to roll down to the hill, down to where we're shooting from. So take it away, Gary. We'll meet you down at the filming site.
One tiny bump killed me.
We have to be nimble. We have to be nimble in what we do in order to provide that kind of experience of that you are there that you could be doing this too. And I really love my team for bearing with my demands on them to improve. And they are really doing a good job.
I must admit that I had a lot of stereotypes and preconceptions about South Africa, especially from watching events of post-apartheid. So I was very, very pleasantly surprised at how the people were so open and they really wanted to work together to create a better country. That's what I felt from all the people I met there.
We need each other at the end of the day. I thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Come this side.
The trip was truly eye-opening and educational. We just got to meet people and go places and interact in a way that I never could have on my own.
So to come together, and in 9-10 we shall slay. Then I sleep and fly for free, roll me South Africa, our land.
Very good. Oh, Silvanga.
I happen to be a percussionist, so one of my favorite events that happened along the route was meeting an African drummer in Cape Town and asking him to give a drumming class to students back in Orlando.
I think the first thing that we're going to do is hear from you. So if we can get that queued up so we can actually hear some of the drumming that I know you've been practicing for quite a while. Very good, thank you.
It sounds very good. It's gonna grow with you. It doesn't come overnight. If you can just keep doing it like that, it will grow more and more.
How long have you been drumming?
I started drumming when I was young, when I was at the age of 8. I used to break all my mother's buckets at the backyard. So I think that's where I picked up the drumming habit. And every time when my teacher asked me to do a handwork at school, I would make a drum.
Did you learn to drum?
Someone inspired me. You know, I didn't just like pick it up from the air, you know. I saw someone doing it and then I fell in love with it. Okay, guys, you listen carefully. I want you guys to follow my end.
Technology allowed for this to happen in a way that maybe these students wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to do before. African drummers are teaching them now, and he's saying, this is my culture, I invite you to drum with me today, and you know, this is what I do every day, and you are going to continue the culture of Africa wherever you live.
Give me a big roll.
That takes us the entire cultural transect. We've gone all the way from Johannesburg through Swaziland, all the way through Durban, Grahamstown, and down here. I don't know how many miles we drove that whole way, but we popped our head out and we saw just how diverse South Africa actually is.
Well, you know, it was challenging. It was challenging. But
this year I'm going
I did. I want to go back.
Can't believe it's 2 months has passed already. The time just flew by.
But I just really want to thank Dave Provencher and COBHAM for the strong support. Dave, thank you so much for everything. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Can I say one more thank you?
Sure.
Wouldn't have been possible without him. I mean, seriously. Phil is a rare bird in academia. He's a guy who knows how to get stuff done. He is an absolute pleasure to work with, and I just want you to know that.
Bruce is right. Phil knows how to get things done. So I thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, I knew it was going to be challenging, but I didn't realize how challenging. Yes.
So, there was no option. You can't say, well, I give up. And we never did. We just kept going, whether the cars were breaking down or the equipment. We had some equipment failure. That happens in production. I remember telling Lexi this. I said to Lexi, Lexi, if I look mad, I'm only thinking hard. And I'm very focused, because my job many times is just to keep us moving along and then turning it over to the team. I mean, that was.
I see this as opening a whole new world of opportunities to understand the differences between us, but also to be able to see how similar we are. It's just a really valuable tool that we need to continue to use and to try, in different parts of the world.
I'm a technologist, but I'm not sold that the technology itself is the most interesting thing happening here. I think it is about the learning experiences. How are we improving education?
I'm very excited to be here. It's a wonderful experience. I'm very lucky to be part of the opportunity. If certain entities and the powers that be sink their teeth into it, it will benefit them and really close the gap between the miles maybe that separate cultures, societies, professors, and potential students or trainees. It really kind of makes the world your classroom in so many different ways.